Let the ridiculousness begin.
I regret not adding my presence to that roll.
Which roll?
The one where I told him to put his hands up.
Oh.
And Justin said it would have... Well, so I rolled a 14. I added the 3 for my strength bonus from Bold Presence and 2 for my I Shall Protect, and forgot to add what I should have added in the first place.
You left dice on the table.
Skill. It was the difference between a success with fear and a failure with fear. So,
Jeez.
You know what?
Don't forget.
It happens.
Somebody had to leave.
It's kind of fitting. I'm in a new position, and I'm thinking about, does this guy look right? And blah, blah, blah. And then I fail on the thing I, should be doing.
Somebody had to be the one to leave the dice on the table first. And you know the rules second best of everybody here, so it's only fitting you do it.
Oh. I'd say third best at least, but thanks anyway.
I don't know. Sometimes I feel like you're correcting Justin a couple times. He's just gone.
Deleted.
Don't put that on me, Ricky Bobby.
All right. Welcome to session 6 of our open beta playthrough of Daggerheart by Darrington Press. Head over to deadsonsco.com for announcements and other projects, and see us at patreon.com/deadsonscompany to consider supporting us if you like our content, especially if you giggle a few times, because, laughter is worth everything. So what's a few dollars to laugh? Also helps us get music, art, software, and, time, because that's the biggest drain. So, all right. Anything to get out of the way before we get going?
Yeah, fuck you, Justin.
Thanks, Brad. It felt good.
It
does feel good.
We're gonna leave Brad being the only one saying that.
You should. I get to hear it for 6 months. I'm gonna throw it back when I get a chance. Brad. Yeah.
Well, everybody's saying it every time versus nobody's saying it. Yeah, it balances out, I think.
All right. Last time in Eraset, our party began their watch over Eventide's stronghold. Oxley, making his way around the inner sanctum in a counterclockwise fashion, came across 2 miscreants, technically 4 miscreants, gathered in the mess hall area after dark. They were not supposed to be. He heard them saying something about a really ugly person in a cloak giving them coins, but he didn't really find out for what. 2 of the miscreants ran off northerly toward the keep, and 2 he pursued up into the barracks, leaving 1 coin left on the training grounds unclaimed. He did manage to cut them off and catch them before they reached their rooms, and dragged them to the dungeon. Kyle and, what was the other one? Melbourne.
Mel something. Yeah.
A human and a furbolg, one having a silver pendant with a green jewel in it that he claimed his Nan gave to him, and the other having a rusty dagger and a handful of coins. Taking the coins, but leaving the rest, Oxley met up with Ripley, Nero, and Kai upstairs as horns were sounding outside, which Gerard, meanwhile, had been circling in a clockwise fashion the outer wall, and witnessed the murder of 3 guards in plain sight down in Mill Run, the southeast part of Eventide Stronghold. Trying to watch where that evildoer went, seeing them flee north, but then losing sight, the rest of the party exited the keep of the inner sanctum, Nero breaking into an owl form with Ripley riding cowabunga style on his back. And Oxley and Kai made their way over to the crime scene. Kai, I believe you're intending to search the area for tracks and try and track this individual northward, while Nero and Ripley fly through the skies.
Also, as I'm walking by the bodies, I'm actually going to grab one of the daggers.
Okay. There are 3 of them. All 3 guards are dressed pretty similarly. You just grab the nearest one.
Yeah, I'm grabbing.
It takes a second to pull it out. It's lodged pretty deep in the neck, but yeah, you can pull it out. It's just a little like throwing dagger. It's weighted. It's obviously made for throwing.
Get any details about this guy whatsoever other than his black cloak, his shoes, his hair, maybe her? I don't know.
You didn't see any of it. How would you like to try and discern what that was? The only people that you saw actually see this person up close and personal are dead on the ground right now. He didn't even look, he or she or whoever it was, didn't even look up at you when you shouted.
Hood up.
Hood up.
Just black cloak.
Mm-hmm.
I guess I'm just going to do the best I can.
I saw him standing right here. Kai, maybe you can see his boot pattern. I don't know. Track him somehow. All I know is he had a black cloak. And he's an asshole.
Starting at where he's pointing at, Kai's going to start looking for paths or stuff to track.
Okay, how does your tracking ability work?
So it's a spell. Basically, it says I make a spellcast roll to track or ask the GM once question. You'll be able to learn the specific creature. If I spend a hope before that, I can double my spellcasting trait as a modifier.
Nice. Okay.
So basically, I can just track it. If I can find feet and stuff. I'm actually going to spend a hope, and I'm also going to spend another hope for bounty hunter. My experience as well.
All right. Let's get that roll going.
That's actually pretty good.
Nero, get up in the sky so you can see.
I've already flown past you with Ripley on my back at this point.
Perfect.
We had 24 with hope.
And you are trying to track or ask a question?
Track.
Okay. As you are, let me just check something really quick.
As he checks that, Gerard, I just imagine that you're shouting that as us as we've already flown past you and Ripley's already yelled cowabunga in your face.
Yeah, so I'm kind of like that street supervisor. Even if you're already doing your job, I'm going to make sure I tell you to do it. Just so I can,
That's how we know you're doing your job.
Yeah.
Well.
Lean against the shovel. Harder!
Looking at the ground, it is kind of a softer dirt and grass area. There are areas where it becomes road that it becomes difficult to track what's going on. However, where this actually occurred, you see the footprints of the guards before they keeled over. You see the spot very clearly equidistant from all three of them near the bridge where the assailant was standing when they threw it. You see the track patterns as their feet shifted to accommodate them throwing three daggers at the same time. And you see very faintly where the dust has separated. The wind is not kicking up. It is not raining in any way, shape, or form. You are able to pick up a trail heading north.
I'm going to point this out and then start following it. And then I have a question, and I'm not sure how you're going to want to have this impact it.
Okay.
But I also have the ability called Path Forward.
Okay.
It says when you're headed for a place you previously visited or carry an object with you that has been there before, you can identify the shortest, most direct path to your destination. I have the knife on me.
You do.
I'm not sure how this is going to impact it, but I'm just basically picking it up and going with it as I'm tracking him.
Going to say, just based on the wording I just heard, that it is specifying if you're heading to a place you have been before, not to a person or creature that you have been before. You're not really sure where you're heading. But it also says if you're carrying a object that has been in that place. Again, you're not heading toward a place.
I know. It's more going to be once we get to the destination.
Yep. And if you
it'll be a destination in that place.
I get it. If this person was heading to a destination specifically, I might rule differently, but for right now, I'm going to say it's not.
I'm not saying it impacts now or anything. I'm saying once we get to wherever this path may lead, then it may have it picked.
Okay.
Yeah.
Justin?
Noted.
I want to do two things before we walk away. I'm going to find the closest guard to me, and I'm going to have them secure the area and keep citizens away, because I don't want to just leave it unattended. And then I'm going to shout up to the archer that I saw. So,
Yep.
Send word down. I want to know who the last person to see him was and where he was.
Kai is not waiting for any of these people.
that's
at all.
fine. I'm
He's
going to
just
start
going.
following you. But I want to leave somebody in charge, and I want to start having them figure out who the last person to see him was and where he was. So,
Yep, there are 2 guards that were already kind of helping secure the area. They kind of call a few of their buddies over, and they're going to hold up their halberds and kind of make a barricade on the bridges, and just in general around the crime scene. Did you want us to start cleaning these guys up, or leave them?
I want you to cover them. Leave them till I return.
You've got it, sir.
So while that's happening, we've zipped by in an owl form,
You have.
trying to find this dude.
Like, you fly by. Do you go back up to height, or are you kind of staying low?
My thought is, wait, go past Gerard's face, just as if I could utter from my mouth, which I can't because I'm an owl, to be like, Master Graves? And
Instead, you just hear, Cowabunga!
and then, yeah, I want to climb. So the functionality I kind of mentioned last session, the functionality of the owl is I have the winged beast level 2 form has the bird's eye view. You can fly at will in this form. When you are flying and look down at the landscape below in an attempt to understand a situation better, you may make an action roll. On a success, you gain a new useful information here. Take a d6 bonus die you may use or give to an ally to aid their action when acting on this information. So, like, literally, I want to climb high enough where Ripley and I can see somebody in a black cloak running pell-mell.
Okay.
And then I'm going to bomb at them, give Ripley my d6, and let him go to town.
Does it mechanically say anything about how that helps you, or is it basically just saying it lets you see something that you wouldn't normally see?
The specific wording is you make an action roll. On a success, you gain new useful information. So
Okay,
I would assume something I wouldn't otherwise
And is
know.
the action roll just whatever we choose it to be, or is it something specified in the...
It just says an action roll,
Okay.
so I think it's your discern.
Yep.
Your discretion.
As you are an animal, you begin to fly. You see Kai start to move in a direction following tracks as you kind of fly past, and you take up to the sky. Roll me an instinct action.
Yeah. I was hoping you would say that, because that's actually good.
And actually, because this is just cool, do it at advantage.
Ooh.
It is nighttime. You are an owl. You would have a better ability to see things in the night than
To confirm,
your average.
advantage, I add a d6, right?
Correct.
Hell yeah. Not with fear for what?
getting
Motherfucker.
advantage for being cool is my favorite thing.
Can I ever not roll with fear?
No.
No. What is it?
Not great. I rolled really poorly, so that's a 9 plus 3 is 12 with fear.
12 with fear. All right. You fly high over the East Village.
Brad, you don't have any experience that would help you with that?
Ooh, that's a good question. So I do have the experiences of Lone Wolf and Overly Cautious, both of which have to do with trying to see situations to put myself in the best possible situation.
Are you overly cautious as well because you have a frog on your back and you're trying to be careful?
I'm overly cautious because that was an experience I gained thanks to constantly rolling with fear.
I haven't heard anything about those experiences that you're saying that are going to apply yet, but if you want to make an argument for
I
one,
think
go for it.
Overly Cautious could apply because the purpose of Overly Cautious is that while my character has fear, he's also constantly being cautious of what he does. So he's utilizing his senses to try to set up a situation to minimize his risk of getting harmed.
By seeking an assailant?
By seeking an assailant with a ninja frog on my back, yeah.
I'm not buying into it yet.
That's fine.
But
Worth a try.
all right. But you fly high over and you said what was the total result?
Oh, 12.
All right. Yeah, you fly high. You kind of drift one way or the other. As you get higher, there is a drift of wind up here that's kind of distracting you. You're having a really hard time staying on your flight path and end up having to drop lower again, which makes your bird's eye view very difficult to maintain. You don't see anything. Ripley, however, roll me an instinct at disadvantage, though, because it is dark and you don't have any dark vision, to my knowledge.
No, I don't think I do it. If I do, I don't know where it is.
So you
sorry,
roll
guys.
normally and then subtract a d6.
I robbed Kyle of his dice for this game, apparently.
Oh no! -6.
Yep. Minus a d6. So
Okay,
if you
so
I'm assuming you rolled a 6.
I rolled a 6 on the d6.
Oh no, we're both bad.
I got a 12 with fear.
Did you add your
2 12s
instinct
with
as
fear.
well?
I'm not used to being up this high. This is the wrong kind of high.
As the
Carl.
winds catch the wings of Nero, and he's trying to balance and maintain height for a minute, and then suddenly ducks down, you fall off his back. I'm going to use that fear instead of banking it. You fall. You are in free fall toward the village.
Is it nighttime?
It is nighttime.
Okay, then I'm going to mark a stress. I'm going to teleport into the shadows and land safely on the ground in the shadows.
That's good because
Wonderful.
I was about to dive bomb and catch you.
As you fall through the shadow of Nero from the moonlight, you
Nero, you suck!
poof out of existence. And did you want to reappear in shadows further north or back toward Kai?
Further north.
Okay. You go, I'm going to say as far as you can north in the shadow of the eastern tower of the inner sanctum. You're getting really close to the Eventide Garden at this point, but you're safe.
Okay. You
Mark
said
that stress if you didn't already.
I did.
Okay.
Okay.
Nero is still flying high above you. Nero, at this point, you realize Ripley's not on your back anymore.
Note to self: don't ride the bird. I'll
You hear-
stick to wheels.
You hear a very panicked.
All right, I'm looking around. Do I see anything noteworthy?
With a 12 with fear. No, you do not.
That was to stay where I
Yeah.
was, wasn't it?
It was an instinct check to see what was going on. You didn't see anything, but because
just
you rolled
used
with
that
fear,
fear
it
to
went
ruin you.
horribly wrong.
Oh, okay.
All right.
You failed and rolled with fear. So
Oh,
Right on.
damn.
Okay.
Given that I suck, I'll bank back towards the group.
Given that I suck.
I
Gerard,
literally with advantage. I couldn't have rolled worse. It was a 1 and a 5, and the 5 was the fear die.
You could roll worse.
I could.
Gerard and Ox, you are following behind Kai. Kai, explain how you track something using this skill as,
As
you're
he's
following
doing
the
that,
footsteps.
I'm edging Ox in the ribs.
This guy, he killed a drake on his own. I know he can lead us to him.
Yeah, and I'm gonna elbow you back. And this guy doesn't even know how to clean blood out of fucking pavers. That's gonna take forever. Leaving the bodies there. Fucking dumb.
Every few feet, Kai is dropping to a knee and tracking the footsteps in the ground, and like he'll occasionally sniff some dirt or let the dirt fall to see which way the wind's going, and then say, "Oh, it's going that way." Discover the footstep and head off, and immediately start a sprint for a few feet, and then stop, and then repeat the process over.
Okay. As you hop basically around from grassy and dirt area across the roads, over barrels, over crates, every once in a while stopping on a stoop to see if the tracks could lead into this house or that. You lift up some dirt and let it drop, and you notice it falls completely flat. There is no wind to speak of down here. However, in looking up, you see Nero banking against wind higher up, and I need you to roll a knowledge check for me, Kai.
Don't drop it on the floor.
Doesn't count. Roll it again.
Knowledge, you said. Okay. That is going to be a 6 with hope.
At least it's with hope.
By slimmest of margins.
Hey, you look up and you kind of cock your head sideways like a confused dog for a second. You're like, not really sure why there's so much wind up there where he is, obviously, because he's having a hard time staying aloft. But down here, it's dead wind.
I'm busy tracking. I got
Yeah.
more important things.
You make your way up. You're as you get up toward the east tower of the inner sanctum, you're still kind of trailing along to your right, but far off to your left, you see Ripley kind of dusting himself off, looking around. Ripley, are you going to follow suit, or are you going to go off and do your own thing?
Oh shit, dwarf monkey, sup? Let's don't ever ride on Nero. He cannot fly worth a damn. Right,
Since I just got the ability, it's fitting.
You look like you're on the trail of something. I'm gonna follow you.
I've got some tracks I'm following. I'm hoping to find them.
Right. As you continue northward, the tracks come to an abrupt stop, and you look in front of you, and there is a road. Well cobbled. Recently well cobbled, but then it breaks off into an old cobble off to the right near the outer wall. There is a decrepit old warehouse that is 3 stories tall. Does not look like it's in use. It is just kind of like a ruined building. Looks like one side of it kind of caved in from something, failing in its structural integrity. It seems like the only place he could have gone following the trail.
Well, I'm gonna go check it out.
But you don't see him right now.
Set a perimeter around the outside.
I'll land and drop my useless owl form.
I'm going to turn to Nero and say, hey, Nero, smell this boot print and see where it goes.
Hold, please. I can't fail twice, right? All right, so GM question. Mechanic question. I have a level 1 pack predator, which is wolf, coyote, hyena, etc., which gives me advantage on track. However, I'm wondering, so level 2, I have a brutish beast, which is a bear, which is fitting. Mm-hmm. I don't have advantage on track. I take advantage on navigate. Given that, I don't know if any of y'all have ever slept in bear territory, but they snuffle. They make some big old snuffing noises when they're smelling. If I have a boot print with a smell, would it be a tracking or a navigating? If I'm in a bear form.
I think it would be tracking regardless, but
probably I'm just hoping I can turn into a bear.
It would be tracking.
Okay. Then I will
However, land. If you are willing to spend a hope, I think your Shepherd of Death might help here. If you did want to be a bear and use that instead.
Perfect.
That'd be fine.
No,
because you are picking up on the scent of something, and you're looking to correct it into its righteous path, right? So
I have failed on everything. And as much as I want to turn into a bear right now, I'm going to turn into a wolf. I'm going to take a big old inhale of the paw print. I would still like to request that I burn a hope and use either Shepherd of Death or Lone Wolf for the tracking, the wilderness, the experience.
Honestly, any of your 3 experiences, I can find a reason to use in this particular scenario.
Okay. So that's good, because then I get to add a +2. So hopefully, for once, guys, I don't fail, because I'm rolling at advantage with a lot of modifiers.
And just for my narrative benefit, which one are you doing? And remember, you can stack experiences. So,
I can.
If you burn multiple hope. Yeah.
I don't even know how Brad has any hope.
I have the 2 that I started with. That is it. I haven't rolled a single roll with hope yet. Thank you. I'll burn one hurt. I will burn 1 hope. And given that we are tracking someone who has caused harm to the friends of a friend, given my background and my experience, I'm going to call on my memories of Rip and try to track him down using Shepherd of Death.
Okay.
So given that I am in pack form, I will turn into a wolf. I turn into this standard size silver and white muzzled wolf. I have advantage on track, so please, dear God, let me roll with hope for once. Oh, wait, I should mark my hope off. All right. For the love of God, praise the loaf. It's cocked. It's the only reason it's not with fear is it's cocked. Oh my God, are you fucking kidding me?
Did you add your
Gluten ass. Celiac disease have an ass.
Oh my god! All right,
Add your things.
I'm not done adding.
Let's
Hang
see
on.
if you succeed. It's obviously with fear.
It's with fear yet again.
I think Mike's onto something here.
Does
Mhm.
the
You
advantage
can't
go
handle
to
the
the hope?
gluten in your own loaf.
What's up?
Your guts
Does
have
advantage
betrayed
add to
you.
the hope or not? Or is it just separate?
It's just separate. So
Success and failure are completely separate from hope and fear.
all right. So track is the skill. Do I then use like my instinct because that's a navigate? Oh no, where's track? Is it
Instinct
instinct?
would also be tracking.
Okay, so that's
So-
good. So then it's a 7, 14, 19. It's a 19 with fear.
Okay. Smelling the boot print and then kind of trying to discern where it went. There is a clear path to one side of the ruined warehouse where on the one side it's completely collapsed and looks very precarious. It looks like it smells like the boots kind of go around to the right through the brush on the overgrowth, and there must be some kind of window or something on that side because you can distinctly smell they're in that building.
Okay, and they're 100%. They are in that building.
That's your sense, yeah.
Okay. Before I do anything, I want to very quickly you said that the boot prints seem to go in the building, but it goes off in the brush and there might be a window there. I want to make sure it goes to a window.
Okay. You circle around to the right a little further.
While
Yep.
he's doing that, seeing,
I also have a thing.
Okay.
I'm gonna find a way to like sneak in through the rubbled area because I'm gonna use my tiny infiltrator and sneak my way in there, and just like I'm not gonna make my presence known.
Are you
I just
going to
wanna-
wait for Nero to finish circling and confirming, or
No.
Okay. Gerard,
As I
what are you
see
doing?
that Kai has instructed Nero, and now it looks like Nero is also onto something with this building. Do I see any guards nearby
No. Just the ones running on the wall up above.
on the wall?
You could shout up to
Eh.
them if you wanted to.
I
They don't have
could.
a quick way down here,
It's
though.
probably going to alert anybody in the building to our presence, and I'd rather not do that. So I guess I'm just going to shut up.
Real quick, does it look like from where we've approached that there's any other apparent exits, or are we just square on the front of this building right now?
It looks like you're square on the front of the building. I mean, it's backed up to the outer wall, basically. To go out the back, they'd have to basically run into the wall and then go one of the two directions. So
Okay.
you can see everything around it. There
And
is another
Nero's-
building directly to the right of it that's maybe 15 feet apart.
Nero's heading to the right now.
Yes.
Okay. I'm gonna start making my way around the left to the back. See if there's
Okay. So Ox circling
Unless-
around the left on the
unless
collapse
Sergeant
side.
Graves here has issues with me
I
being
just-
an autonomous individual with a brain.
How big is this building?
It's a 3-story building, but it's pretty narrow. It looks like it's made for crate stacking. I will say it's 20 feet wide and probably 30 feet deep, with
Okay, so-
like half of it in ruins. So
If anybody is listening to me whatsoever, I'm going to say that we have at least one person on each side of it and one at the front of it, just so we can monitor to see if anybody comes in or out. I'm going to wave up to the tower. Whether they see me or not, I guess is on you. I'm going to wave. And if I do catch any guards' attention, I'm just going to eyes building.
if you want to affect whether they see you or not, you could roll presence. Otherwise, I'm just going to roll a die and see if
I'll
they
roll
see you.
presence. Why not?
Okay.
That'll be a 14 with hope.
Nice. Gain a hope.
Sorry, 16. I'll never do this again. 16 with hope.
That makes a difference because it was a 15 difficulty. To wave in a way that somebody's going to see you, you kind of move backwards so that you're in the light, and you kind of shimmer. What weapon do you have? A mace?
I have a mace. Yeah, and a tower shield too. So I guess
Oh, you
tower shield and mace.
put your tower shield up against like the moonlight, and catch it and kind of shine it at somebody up above.
That's way smarter than me.
And they do this, but they look down and they go. They look like they're making their way down this way.
Kai's gonna try to go silently up to the front door.
Okay, so Ripley, roll
sneaking through that rubble.
Roll me a finesse, please. Unless you're using a domain ability of some kind to do this.
I'm gonna burn 2 to
Okay.
tiny infiltrate and acrobat.
Okay.
I'm gonna hop along the rubble and find the smallest spots where I could fit through and do so quietly.
And are you going through the brush on the right, or are you trying to go through the front, or are you trying to go
I'm
through
going
the
through the
ruined
collapsed
left?
wall.
Okay, going through the left. Got it.
You said finesse,
Yes.
right?
And then you burned 2 hope to use 2 different experiences. One of them a +2, or both of them a +2?
They're both +2s.
Nice. So you get +4.
And you know what? I'm actually gonna. I had the know the tide from when I rolled that fear from falling off the owl. I'm gonna roll use that token off of that.
It adds what?
It adds a +1 to this roll as well.
Okay,
So
cool.
it's my dice +5.
Got it.
Nice.
All right, that is 19 with hope.
Nice.
Two
At
with
least
hope.
somebody rolls with hope.
Gain a hope. As you make your way off to the left, kind of skulking through the shadows, do you think you would like hop through, or do you?
Oh, I'm
do you, like-
hopping, I'm sneaking, I'm sliding, I'm using my tongue to swing.
I'm picturing some kind of like cartoon situation. Pink Panther
Oh, yeah.
meets Ribbit.
Yeah.
Doo-doo,
Very-
doo-doo, doo-doo.
Yeah.
All right. You kind of sneak through, keeping to the edge of shadows. Using your acrobat ability, one of the fallen large stone chunks of the wall, you jump up on it and get on top of the side of the doorway before you even get in. Using your tiny infiltrator, you squeeze in through the wall there where you normally wouldn't be able to fit. But you're tiny. You know very well what the size of a hole is you can squeeze into. You are actually in a 2nd story room at this point. It's very dark in here. Lots of broken crates and hanging ragged curtains that are aged and moth-eaten. No wind. Nothing is rippling in. No sound. You hear nothing. But you are here. Ox. As you circle around to the left, you don't see Ripley moving through the shadows kind of nearby, but you think you catch a little glimpse of him squeezing through a 2nd story hole. As
You see his frog legs like Winnie the Pooh.
Frog legging, splooting out.
Sploot.
As you circle to the left, the inside of the building becomes more and more visible. However, the collapsed ruins still obscure the inner rooms, and the 3rd floor is almost entirely untouched, weirdly enough. There's a single beam that seems to be upholding that 3rd floor above everything, even though the floors below it have collapsed. Nero, as you circle to the right, you have to kind of get a little closer to the building because the brush is maybe 5 feet away from the window, and then there's another 10-foot gap to the next building. But you do see that there is a window that goes in on like the upper half of the 1st floor.
Okay, and that's where the smell ends.
That's where the smell goes to. Don't
And
know that it ends.
How high up is this window?
It's probably like what would be a little over like chest height on you and me.
Okay, is the window open?
It's like 4 feet. It's not open, but it doesn't appear to be locked either.
I will not jump through the window as a wolf, and I will drop wolf form and attempt to open said window.
It is a shutter window, so you could probably feasibly open it as a wolf if you wanted to.
I will try to nose the window open with the shutters, and if that doesn't work, then I'll drop wolf form.
All right. I'm going to say as you try it, it's pretty easy to do. You kind of push it once, it clacks a little bit. So it's not, and if you want to try and do it more stealthily, you can roll me a finesse, but
Yeah, why not?
yeah, give me another fear, Brad.
Yeah, why not? I rolled with hope for the first time in this entire fucking campaign. It's a dirty 20 with finesse.
Okay. Take a hope.
Thank you, Jesus.
You manage to grab it with one of your teeth and pull rather than bounce it open.
Okay.
And you can see inside if you put your paws up on
That's
it. That's
the plan is.
Does the wolf have dark vision at all?
Great question. I would assume probably not. It does not appear to, no.
Okay. Inside is a scattering of rubble.
Okay.
There's broken wood and stone everywhere. Up to the right is a very steep wooden staircase, almost a ladder. But
to quote
definitely
the
slats.
great philosopher, Toucan Sam, I would like to follow my nose.
All right. Kai, you said you're sneaking up the front, right?
Yep.
All right. Roll me finesse if you're sneaking.
I am also wildborn, so since I'm trying to be silent, I get advantage on the rolls for not being heard.
Oh,
okay.
Heck yeah.
Which is what you're doing. So.
And you said finesse?
Yes.
18 hope.
Nice. Get a hope. I don't know if Eric's rolled with fear yet.
I have. I think at least twice.
That's right. Eels. I remember.
Yeah, I've eeled that up.
I can't believe I finally rolled
How
with
many
hope.
rolled ones on the fear?
Sorry, what was your total?
10, 18. I had to do the math again.
Okay. You kind of creep forward. You're going for the front door, right?
Yeah.
Okay. The front door is smashed in. You creep forward, staying to the right, because what you assume would be the more shadowy route, less likely to be seen, less likely to be heard. You get up to the front door and you peer your head in as Nero's face kind of pops up in the window off to your right into the same room.
Couple of
Again,
big blue eyes look at you.
Over to your right, you see a wooden, like really old, decrepit wooden staircase, almost a ladder, going up to the second floor.
And that's the only thing I see is going up?
Yep. It's just debris on that first floor and that one ladder/staircase. Going up.
Continue to move into the room.
Yep.
Heading towards the stairs.
Gerard, were you moving at all, or are you staying out there?
I'm going to stay at the front of the building. I'm kind
Okay.
of looking at Ox and looking at Kai and making sure that the outside of the building is secure.
And Ripley, on that second story, again, you have a lot more not shattered debris. So you have crates and hanging curtains and stuff. You don't see any ladders or staircases here, but it could be obscured behind all of the debris in here.
Okay.
That is still kind of together.
Maintaining my stealthy approach, I'm gonna slink along the crates and look for, anything that seems like it would be like the silhouette of somebody hiding, or like the stairwell going up, or something like that.
Okay. As you slink around, you brush past that first curtain into the true dark. Your eyes adjust a little bit from the moonlight into the darkness. And you do see a narrow staircase going down. Over on a wall to your left across the room, it looks like there's a full-on rope ladder that doesn't look... roll me a knowledge quick.
That's I'm not adding any proficiencies to these sorts of things, am I?
Just your knowledge score.
Okay. That's a 13 with fear.
13 with fear. I'm gonna take that fear. You see a rope ladder going up the wall across. It kind of jiggles slightly, despite everything else being completely still.
Do I see any of the other party coming up to the second floor yet, or no? Am I up here on my own?
Right now, you're on your own, but is anybody going up?
I would have dropped.
I was heading up.
Yeah, I would have dropped wolf form and just also stealthily moved with Kai, with how quiet he's going. For some reason, wolves don't have move silently as an advantage thing. And I do. Well, actually, GM ruling, I'm Wildborn. Do I get to keep that as a wolf? Because it normally says when I'm in beast form, I take the features, attack trait, and armor score of the creature, but it doesn't say I lose my community features.
I would say you would keep it. You're still you.
Okay, then I will follow as a wolf and follow stealthily.
Okay. And did you roll finesse earlier? I'm sorry, I completely spaced.
Me, no. That's why I was
Okay, so
calling
roll
it.
finesse now.
All right.
Are there any windows by where me or Ox are standing?
There probably used to be, but it's completely collapsed. The only window that you see is on the third floor, where the wall and floor are still intact.
If I wanted,
So I'm.
Go
Sorry,
ahead.
go ahead.
If I wanted to gain access to the building from the side that I'm at, do I see a way in, or is it like collapsed but it's impassable?
It's collapsed. You could totally step through on the side you're in.
Okay.
You might have a hard time fitting on the first floor just because of how big you are.
Mm-hmm.
You'd probably have to duck down to stay on any of the given floors.
Given that they've all went in, I would start to try to find a way in as well.
Okay. There's the front door. You can go through a collapsed area off to the left. The collapsed area is basically just difficult to move through.
I'm going to go over by Ox and slowly start making our way in. Do I see the guards making any progress towards us?
You don't see them yet, no.
Okay.
You know it's going to take a few minutes for them to get down here for sure.
I want to night walk again. I want to mark another stress, and I want to disappear from my shadow and reappear on the third floor.
Does it say anything about line of sight for that?
Nope. It just says within far range. I don't have to see it either. It's pretty cool, actually.
That's
Well, you have to know there's a shadow up there, so I
Right.
imagine.
That's the part I'm
Well,
struggling
I mean,
with right
like,
now.
if I can see up there, I can see like a spot where that I would assume, since it's dark everywhere, there's not a trap door that's swinging. That's been closed by the things, so like, the top of the rope that's up in the dark, I could just come up to the threshold in there.
It makes you mark a stress, though, right?
Yes.
I will say if you move up to the rope ladder and can see up the hole that it leads up, then you can do it. Because you do have to be able to visualize what you're going to, right? Like you can't just...
No, I'll read it verbatim for you.
Yeah.
You can move from shadow to shadow. When you step into the shadow, cast by another creature or object, or into an area of darkness, mark a stress to disappear from where you are and reappear inside of any other shadow within far range.
Okay. As written, I agree with you. As logicked, I would still say you have to know that there's darkness there, which means you would have to see it in some way, at least once. So
I have a proposition for you, GM.
Yeah.
There's a universe, and it doesn't matter which one, where people can like basically gate walk. He doesn't have to know there's a gate there. You could just say if he burns the stress and there's no shadows on the third floor, he's SOL. It's his risk.
True. What's that ability called again? I'm going to write that down for just some feedback on that.
It's a foundation called Nightwalker for rogues.
Okay.
Because it could be like
the ability specifically is called Shadow Stepper.
Yeah, it could be like when he steps into the shadows, he's almost in an alternate dimension where other shadows are spots that he can manifest. But if he doesn't know they're there, he's shit out of luck. That's his fault.
Well, I mean, either way, it doesn't matter. I'm still going to continue sneaking up close to that ladder. I mean, the rope.
Yeah, I'm going to tell you right now, there's no real consequences for moving close to the ladder. I'm not going to be like, ha, he sees you or whatever. It's just I'm trying to logic through it in my brain. So in my brain, if you don't somehow know that shadow is there,
keep fighting back so we can glean a little more info.
Yeah.
Well, I've been generically saying he the whole time, so
I have a finesse roll question for your ruling, GM.
Yes.
It rolled. I had to roll with advantage. The D6 hammered out, hit the D12 before I could see it, cocked it, and I re-rolled it without asking you. Do you want me to re-roll the whole thing or just the one that got cocked?
What do I look like, a fucking dictator? Did I staple a potato to my penis?
Respect.
Dictator. Ah.
Wow, that took you an uncomfortably long amount of time to get that.
I don't know why a potato and a penis would ever come to mind otherwise, but hey. All right. Well, then in that case, the finesse roll is a nice resounding.
Yep, there's 6 of us
Mash
present.
them,
I
boil
see
them,
now.
staple
With-
them to your penis.
What was the total?
With hope, finally, for the second time, 19.
Okay. Yeah, you move into the room behind Kai, making his way up that ladder. I am going to use a fear.
What's up? What's up there though? I bamped up there. What's up there?
You bamf up there.
Mhm.
Almost simultaneously as Kai and Nero, the ladder that you're both climbing simultaneously, buckles under the two of your weight.
Oh, shit.
Being so decrepit and old, you hear it creak and then crack, and you both fall to the ground on the first floor.
No, I don't. I'm gonna launch into the air, drop my wolf form, and spend a stress to become an owl again, motherfucker, and I'm gonna keep flying.
I'm going to. I also, because I have advantage on things involving balance, I'm assuming this is me losing my balance, I would like to try to jump towards the edge to catch myself.
Sure. Roll a finesse for me. Or, I'm
Finesse,
sorry,
guys.
agility.
Agility?
Yep.
Even better. Oh god, that's not great.
Yeah, I'm not gonna
Oh,
risk
shit.
falling to the first floor because I don't have anything cool like Kai does. I'm just gonna bamf from form to form like an absolute idiot.
That's a 31. I rolled 2 12s. That's a crit.
Whoa. So you're
Just say
trying
you
to...
want to
Very
do
nice.
So one, clear a stress, gain a hope. You were
Jesus
trying
Christ.
to not fall. Rather than not fall, you adeptly bounce off of the wall to your right and up onto the second floor and tuck into a roll. You're right up next to that rope ladder at this point.
Way to monkey dwarf the shit out of that.
As
Hell yeah.
Ripley appears in the third floor area, darkness is surrounding you, Ripley. Right now, you see nothing. And then suddenly, as you are looking into the darkness, a spray of mist hits you in the face.
Ah, shit!
And as you breathe in, we are going to...
Did Nero just mark his territory, bro?
No, I'm an owl now. I didn't do it.
Kai
Storms
from
everywhere.
below, being there's a little bit of light down where you are. It's completely dark. You see a puff of smoke kind of billow out from the hole above you. And I need Ripley to take a stress as you inhale and start to cough. And we
Wow.
are now going to start tracking actions.
Shit.
Oh boy.
Fractions.
You cannot see an enemy at this point in time. There is smoke billowing out from the third floor. Ox and Gerard, as you're about to enter the first floor, the window above you on the third floor puffs smoke out of it.
How close am I to, or I guess that
Nero,
single?
you are safely on the second floor. Also, you are flying right now, or
Ox,
you
pick me
flapped
up.
your wings enough to.
One
Stay
moment,
there.
Gerard.
So the
What-
so
What
Well-
part of the third floor is held on by that one beam? Is that the
it
part
looks-
away from our guys?
I like what you're thinking.
You don't know where Ripley is right now.
I know where the front of the building is, which is kind of where they were
So
co-located.
the single column that's holding up that third floor is closer to the front of the building on the left side, on the collapsed side. So it stands to reason you, it's probably holding up the front left part of that floor, but you're going to have to roll a knowledge check to know anything more for certain.
I don't think I will.
Okay.
I want to try and body that structure when we.
So
when it
Kai
gets
and I are like looking up at a trap door that the smoke came out of.
Yeah, so sorry. Second floor. There's crates and barrels and hanging dirty curtains that were kind of shielding the interior of the second floor from the outside or from the front of the building.
Okay.
As you moved into the area toward the back, you're about halfway back the building at this point. As you get to the top of the ladder, Kai is standing directly underneath, basically just a hole in the ceiling where this rope ladder leads up to.
Yep.
It's just like where a trapdoor would be, but there's no actual door. It's wooden planking above you with beams holding
and
up
that's the only way up and down?
Other than a window that's on the third floor on the left side of the
came
building.
out of both. Okay.
A throw grenade.
Start blasting.
So the smoke is coming out of the hole.
Mm-hmm.
All right. I'm going to...
And it's billowing downward right now. It's kind of starting to fill the second floor as well.
So we gotta do something fast.
Yeah, I would like to hit that beam.
Okay. Roll me a strength check.
All right.
I assume you're trying to knock it down.
Yeah. Yeah.
Can I see the beam he's going to strike?
Nope. You are in the back of the room behind the curtains and crates and stuff.
Okay.
You can't see the front of the building at all.
That's what I figured, but wanted to ask.
So that is a. Oh, that's a fear. So that is that's a 23 with fear.
Okay. Taking it. Action token from you. And actually, because... Oh, no, you're not in the smoke. Never mind. You're good. 23 with fear. You lumber up to the column. How you want to knock this bitch down?
Enough sneaking about, and I'm gonna take my massive mop, and I'm just gonna crack right into this like I'm felling a dead tree.
Okay. As your mop strikes into the column of wood, it takes 1, 2. You're like a giant fucking lumberjack right now. On the third crack on it, though, as your mop handle kind of bends around the column cracks and then buckles. I need you to roll a agility reaction. So no hope or fear. I just need to know if you're going to get the fuck out of the way or not.
I've been currently working on getting up to the third floor.
17.
Good luck. 17. You get out of the way of the immediate danger, but you do fall backward onto your ass as it kind of all collapses down on you. The smoke is now added to by the rubble just billowing out. Gerard, you went into the building. Suddenly, all of that one side just is covered in debris, and it's really hard to see through the dust as it settles. There's not really a way for you to clamber up to the third floor unless you want to try and climb up a way that's not really a ladder.
You horse's ass!
And as that was with fear, it does pass to me. And I am going to spend a fear to add 2 more actions. Oh, no, I'm not. I lied. I'm taking that fear back. I already have an action. Ripley.
Oh, shit.
You, as you're coughing against smoke around you, you hear the whoosh of something moving through the dark. Does a 6 pass your evasion? What is your evasion?
13.
Nice.
Little frogman.
You hear the whoosh coming through the smoke. How do you dodge out of the way of the thing as you hear it coming?
I'm coughing from the smoke, and as this comes over, whatever this is, I just happen to duck down while I'm coughing and was just coughing up a log and hacking a phlegm on the floor. So I dodge it by accident.
Okay. You sense as a dagger just passes in front of you, and then you hear somebody tuck and roll across the floor as the floor collapses out from underneath them, and you hear a "oh!" Or actually, no, you hear a as it falls and tumbles out. And Ox, as you fall back on your ass, you see a black figure drop and hit the floor. And we'll have to wait till next time to see who this is, and will you catch them?
To see how he dies.
Or will you kill them? Yeah. Lots of fun.
Minus, I actually rolled with hope. That's a miracle.
Yeah.
Hey, Justin, I got a question.
Sir.
When I received the news that I was avoiding it, but falling back on my ass, I'm prone, right?
Call it on your ass. But
okay.
I don't know that there's really a prone condition in this or not. I don't even remember.
Okay, so it's okay. Never mind then. I was going to use an ability that I was going to ask if I could use one of my abilities to just avoid it and be ready, but it sounds like that's not a thing. So, never mind.
It is and it isn't. So in this game, it's more, does it make sense, right? Like, so if you're on your ass and you'd rather not be, and you'd rather be in a position where you're ready to strike something next to you, or you want to be more alert and aware, theoretically, if you're on your ass and something attacks you right now, I could say it makes sense for them to have advantage, right?
Sure.
So, it's
okay.
up to you.
Would you be okay if I used my ability Scramble, where once per short rest, when an enemy in melee range would deal damage to me, I can avoid the damage entirely and safely move out of melee range to
I'm going to say no. One, because it's the environment that was happening to you based on something you did. Nothing's actually attacking you. Also, sure. You aren't taking any damage from it. You rolled high enough to really avoid it. You just rolled with fear, so something had to happen, right? That wasn't quite ideal.
Okay. Sounds good.
Yeah, but normally if something was attacking you, yeah.
Way to just knock a support beam out of a floor, though. Dig it.
Yeah. I was expecting.
I can't get to him. I'll bring him to me. It's fine.
When he read the description, it felt tailored written for me anyway. So
I was waiting for a description that said like the building collapses and me and Kai were in trouble. But no, you just get to inhale a bunch of smoke.
If he failed with fear, maybe.
Thank God that didn't happen.
Collapses on us.
Yeah, seriously. How did your character die in Daggerheart?
You pulled a killing on?
My giant
the
friend
janitor
collapsed
knocked
a
the
whole
floor out
warehouse
from under me.
The janitor knocked the floor. That's good.
And I would have gotten away with it too if it wasn't for that damn janitor.
Hell yeah.
Hell yeah. All right. Thanks for tuning in, folks. We'll see you next week, probably. Hopefully. Yeah.
Thank you so much for listening. Please make sure to check out our website at deadsonsco.com for the latest news and social links. If you like our content, please consider supporting us at patreon.com/deadsonscompany.